We think we understand Chicago stable built, finished. But back in 1871, it was exposed in ways no one wanted to admit. Everything you're about to see is real, ordinary, and already in place before the first flame appears. Nothing sudden, nothing dramatic yet, just conditions aligning. Stay with me and do not look away when it starts to shift. Welcome to the 19th century. Right now, I'm going to show you how fire doesn't arrive loudly. It takes over when a city stops noticing the risk. One before anything feels wrong. It's Sunday evening, October 8th, 1871, and the city is still moving. Not rushing, just settling into itself. Shops close one by one as the light fades. Gas lamps come on softly the way they do every night. Wagons roll past with the same familiar rhythm. People finish what they're doing and assume they'll pick it up again in the morning on Monday like always. Nothing feels wrong. Chicago feels busy, confident, a little tired. Buildings sit close together, shoulder to shoulder, like they're keeping each other warm. Wood is everywhere, but no one thinks about that. Why would they? This is how the city looks every day. This is how it has grown quickly, tightly, efficiently. The air feels dry tonight. You notice it on your skin, in your throat, but it doesn't register as a problem. A breeze passes through the streets, not strong enough to complain about, just enough to move the smell of the city around. Smoke from cooking fires drifts upward and disappears. People trust routines. They trust that the fire they used this morning stayed where it belonged. They trust that the street they walk down tonight will still be there in the morning. They trust the shape of the city because it has never betrayed them before. This is the moment before anything changes. Not dramatic, not tense, just ordinary life stacked closely together, moving forward without hesitation. Too close together. The city hasn't changed since a moment ago. It only sounds different, quieter. And that's when you start to notice things you normally wouldn't bring up out loud. Stay close and look at how little space there is between buildings. Not enough to call it cramped, just close enough to feel intentional. Walls nearly touch, roof lines lean toward each other. Alleys narrow down until they feel less like paths and more like gaps the city forgot to finish. Now notice what everything is made of. Don't linger on it, just register it. Wood on the walls, wood underfoot. Wood stacked behind shops, patched over old work, layered where speed mattered more than replacement. It's familiar. That's why no one questions it. There are systems in place. Of course there are. Wells scattered where they've always been. Buckets resting against walls. Tools stored where they belong, not where you'd need them fast. Fire crews exist, but they work like people who expect tonight to behave. Feel the air move. Just a little. Enough to pass between buildings. Enough to slip through those narrow seams. It's almost pleasant. You don't announce this. You don't say it plainly. But once you see how tightly everything fits together, it's hard not to hesitate. 3. When control slips, suddenly you feel it before anyone says anything. A warmth that doesn't belong to the night. Not enough to panic. Just enough to make you look twice. There's a glow ahead. Low. Steady. It wavers for a second, then holds like it's found something it wants to keep. Someone notices and shrugs it off. Someone else steps closer. Voices stay calm. Familiar. This is still something people believe they understand. Smoke starts to form thin at first. It should lift and disappear. Instead, it drags sideways, brushing along walls, slipping into corners. It hangs lower than it should. You notice your eyes sting a little. That wasn't part of the expectation. People move around it, not away from it. Buckets appear. Orders are short, almost casual. The city is trying to do what it always does, respond without changing pace. But the fire doesn't follow the rhythm. It creeps along an edge, pauses, then finds another surface and settles there. Embers fall and don't go out. They wait. They glow again when no one is watching. A sound carries not loud, just sharp enough to cut through conversation. An alarm rings somewhere else. Too far. Slightly late. You feel that delay is stretching thin and uncomfortable. And then it happens. The flame reaches a place it shouldn't reach. A boundary everyone trusted crossed without effort. Your stomach tightens. You don't say anything. You just know this isn't staying small. For all exits closing. It's chaos now. Not the kind you can shout over. The kind that swallows voices whole. Here this way. No, it's blocked. Wait, don't go there. The words come fast and useless. No one finishes a sentence. The fire surges forward and finally shows its shape. It stretches across rooftops that sit too close together, the way you noticed earlier, the way no one worried about. Now those gaps vanish. Flames don't jump anymore. They walk. They roll from building to building like they were always meant to. Do not stay in the open. Find something solid. Stone if you can. A wide street maybe. Anywhere the fire has trouble reaching if such a place still exists. Look down the street, then look the other way. Both glow. People run into alleys they've used 100 times, only to stop short when the heat pushes them back out. Others crowd into intersections thinking space will save them, until sparks fall like rain and force them onward again. Wagons jam. Doors won't open. Familiar paths fold in on themselves. Where do we go? There's nothing left. Nothing. The fire roars through the tight seams of the city, feeding on how close everything is, how neatly it was stacked. It moves faster than instructions, faster than hope. Watch them now. Not running towards safety, running away from walls of flame that keep closing in. Every turn removes an option. Every block narrows the choice. They understand it now. There are fewer places to go, and the city is running out of room. 5. No room to fall. Stop. Don't push forward yet. Stay where you are and watch what happens when movement becomes the problem. The street is no longer clear. It's broken by debris carts tipped on their sides, furniture abandoned halfway through escape. People trip because they're looking over their shoulders, not at their feet. Someone falls hard. You hear the sound before you see it, a body hitting stone. A cry follows sharp and brief, then swallowed by noise. Others stumble over them, not because they're cruel, because stopping feels impossible. A woman drops what she's carrying and goes back for it, then changes her mind, then freezes unsure which choice will kill her faster. A child is pulled forward too quickly and loses their grip. Someone screams a name and doesn't hear it answered. Smoke lowers everything. Knees hit the ground. Hands scrape along walls, searching for edges that used to guide people. Breathing turns shallow. Panic doesn't explode. It leaks out in sobs and begging, in the way voices crack when they shout for help. Look there. A man is trapped under fallen timber. Not crushed, pinned. He can move his arms, but not enough. He calls out calmly at first, asking for help, then louder, then without words at all. 2 people try to pull the beam. It doesn't move. The heat forces them back. They hesitate. They look at each other. Then they run. Others don't look back at all. They shove past, step over bodies, use shoulders, elbows, boots. Survival narrows vision until only open space matters, even if that space is made by trampling someone else down. Stay still. Take this in. This is what it looks like when escape turns into an obstacle course, and the city offers no mercy to the slow, the fallen, or the trapped. 6. Waiting for the fire to pass. Then something changes, not in the fire, but in people. Movement fades out. What's left gathers where it can. Open ground fills first. Riverbanks. Broad streets scraped clean by heat. People sit because their legs give out, not because they choose to rest. They lean into each other, count quietly, touch sleeves and shoulders to confirm who's still there. No one talks about what's missing. At a distance, the fire looks almost contained. That's the lie. It rises, stretches, and leans forward, drawn by what remains. Heat arrives before flame, rolling in heavy waves that force heads down and mouths closed. Smoke drifts low, finds its way into every pause in breathing. Sparks float unhurried, settling where no one thought to check. Some places feel safer because they're enclosed. Cellars, walled yards, courtyards boxed in by stone. People slip into them hoping walls will hold. The fire circles instead. It feeds on air steels. It presses heat inward. Those inside don't shout at first. They cough. They knock. They understand too late that the fire doesn't need to enter it, only needs to wait. The sound changes. It isn't running anymore. It's crying, murmurs, names spoken softly again and again. People tell each other to stay low, to keep still, to save what little breath is left. The fire keeps moving. It searches, corners, gaps. Anything left upright is struck until it fails. Roofs fold inward. Walls collapse outward. The city comes apart piece by piece without hurry. People don't run anymore. They hold still. They cling to whoever is beside them. Some close their eyes. Others keep watching, waiting for the heat to pass or the air to thin, whichever comes first. Nothing pushes them forward now. Nothing pulls them back. They stay where they are, breathing when they can, listening, as the city is taken apart around them, knowing the fire will decide when this night is finished. 7 morning after the fire. Phew. The night has passed. So has the fire. You can go out now. Step carefully. What used to be streets are flattened fields of ash and splintered stone. The shapes you relied on are gone. No corners, no edges. Just lines of debris where buildings once stood shoulder to shoulder. Smoke still drifts thin and stubborn, clinging to the ground as if it hasn't decided to leave. Bodies lie where people stopped moving. Some are covered, some aren't. No one reacts the way you expect. A woman kneels beside a shape she already recognizes and doesn't touch it. A man stands very still, staring at nothing. In particular, his hands blackened his face blank. Nearby, someone collapses without a sound, as if the ground finally gave them permission. People begin to search, not urgently, not hopefully. They walk slowly, scanning the ruins for something familiar. A door frame, a stove, a scrap of fabric. They pick through ash with bare hands, ignoring the heat. When they find nothing, they keep going. When they find something, they hold it like proof that yesterday existed. Compare this to what was here before. Streets filled with noise, walls that held warmth, homes stacked tightly full of ordinary life. All of it gone, reduced to the same color, the same texture. A city made unrecognizable in a single night. Emotions scatter across the ruins. Some people keep everything locked inside, moving with stiff precision. Others sit down and don't get back up. Some look strangely calm, emptied out, as if there's nothing left to react with. But beneath all of it, there's one thing everyone shares: pain. It hangs in the air, heavier than the smoke, settling into every movement, every glance, every quiet step through what used to be home. Ate what the fire left behind. After all, people don't leave all at once. They start by standing up. You see it in small ways first. Someone helps another to their feet. Strangers share water. A group clears a narrow path through debris so carts can pass. Families that made it through the night sit together and decide what to do next, not tomorrow, just now. Where to wait, who to look for, how to keep children close. There's no order yet, but there is intention. Makeshift camps form along the edges of what burned. Lines appear for food and blankets. Churches, schools, any structure left standing turns into shelter. People speak more quietly now, but they speak with purpose. Survival is no longer instinct, it's coordination. Then the numbers begin to surface. Around 300 people are dead. more than 100,000 are left without homes. Nearly 17,000 buildings are destroyed, wiping out roughly 3.5 square miles of the city. The commercial center is gone. Records warehouses, entire neighborhoods erased. It's one of the worst urban disasters the country has seen. And yet the city does not empty. Within days, rebuilding begins. Not recklessly, differently. Streets are widened, fire codes are rewritten. Wood gives way to brick, stone, and steel. Infrastructure is redesigned to slow what once moved too fast. What failed becomes instruction. Chicago does not retreat after the fire. It reorganizes. Within a generation, it became one of the most active modern cities in the United States, a center of trade industry and architecture shaped directly by what it endured. What you're seeing now isn't just recovery, it's resolve. A city broken open, then rebuilt by people who refused to let loss be the final shape of their home. The Great Fire of 1871 was not just a night of destruction. It was a test of systems of speed and of the people forced to endure when everything familiar disappeared. Chicago burned, broke apart, and stood back up, changed. What you've seen here is not a legend, but a process: how cities fail, how people survive, and how rebuilding begins long before the flames are gone. If you want to walk through more moments like this, slowly, honestly, and from the inside, stay with the channel. Tell us which city, which disaster, or which forgotten system you want to step into next.